This is your Fox 47 News Flash.
Welcome to your Fox 47 News Flash from the Digital Newsroom. I'm Chris Lewis, and these are the top stories that we're following. Wednesday, President Donald Trump tweeted he will consider pulling funding from schools that don't reopen because of the coronavirus. In his tweet, he said, in Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and many other countries, schools are open with no problems. The Dems think it would be bad for them politically if U.S. schools open before the November election, but it's important for the children and families. May cut off funding if not open. Attorney General Nessel said the president isn't thinking with the public's health and safety in mind. President Trump's threat to take away school funding comes one day after Nessel and 4 other states filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Education and its leader, Secretary Betsy DeVos. Under DeVos's new policy, private schools would receive $21.5 million in CARES Act funding. Nessel said that money should be allocated back to public schools. Under the CARES Act, low-income students at public and private schools would receive funding. However, DeVos is giving funding to all private schools students, and Nessel said that those students don't need the resources like the low-income students do. Nessel said DeVos isn't using Title I funds correctly. The funds under Title I are supposed to be allocated to low-income students. Nessel said, instead of looking at the number of low-income students, which they're required to do under Title I, they looked at the total number of students that are in these private schools, and that is where the disparity comes in. And that is not the formula they have ever used, and they're not supposed to use that formula now in regards to the CARES funding. Nessel said she has faith the states will win the lawsuit. She said she is hoping for an injunction that will lead to a court order for her to allocate the $21 million back to public schools and low-income students. Protections to prevent water shutoffs during the coronavirus pandemic are being extended to the end of the year under an order signed Wednesday by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Since March, 2,477 Michiganders have had their water restored through a grant to help utilities reconnect consumers. Last week, Whitmer signed a bill designating $25 million in federal funding for the State Department of Health and Human Services to forgive past due utility bills and fees of residential customers. As Michigan families grapple with the impacts of COVID-19 on public health and our economy, our administration is taking proactive steps to ensure that no one has to worry about having access to clean drinking water or losing power during this unprecedented crisis. In late March, the state began reconnection efforts, allocating a $500,000 grant to Detroit that helped to connect 1,200 families to water. Detroit has been a hotspot for Michigan COVID-19 with 11,805 confirmed cases as of Wednesday. Committee members from both the Michigan House and Senate met on Wednesday to discuss the state's department response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The committee is working to make sure that the state government is transparent and accountable during the pandemic, in addition to figuring out how to implement best practices for future state crises, according to a press release. The Office of the State Employer Director said by the end of the week, all state departments should have approved plans to come back to the office. However, there is no set date on when state employees will return. She said each department is coming up with its own plan because they all work differently. For example, many DNR officers don't work in confined office spaces. Although the return to work plans are expected to be approved later this week, state employees won't be headed back anytime soon. Director Olson was also asked about plans to reopen local unemployment agencies. She said they're still working on plans to do that safely. The coronavirus has changed all of our lives, and many people don't know where to turn for help. That's why Fox 47 News WSYM-TV created Rebound Mid-Michigan. Everything you need to get back on track in one convenient place. From dealing with stress to unemployment to helping put food on your table, plus ways you can lend a hand in your own community. Rebound Mid-Michigan. Everything you need to get you through these difficult times. We may have fallen, but we will rebound together. Visit fox47news.com/rebound to learn more. For all of our local high school seniors, we know that their senior year has been different than usual, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't celebrate their accomplishments. That's why Fox 47 News created the Senior Spotlight. It's a way for anyone to share a video shout out or upload a photo of a special graduate that deserves recognition. So go to fox47news.com/grad to upload your video or photo today to let Mid-Michigan graduates know how important they are and how bright their future truly is. Learn more about all of these and all Mid-Michigan's breaking news on fox47news.com.